Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 9 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 9 math and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter problem solving. The lessons we're going to cover today are word problems with money, weighted averages word problems, rate of travel word problems. Please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Let's just start with the lesson that is word problems with money. If Alan buy 2 pounds of rectangular razors and 3 pounds of heart razors, how much will he spend? So you are given the table of values, you are given the prices per pound. So the rectangular razors are $5 per pound and heart razors have $3. So the heart razors are $3. That are 3 pounds of heart razors. So you have to do 3 times 3. That is the cost of the heart razors that are $9. And the cost of the rectangular razor is $2. That is so you need to then add the total money spent is $21. Let's just start with the test questions. How much money does Zoe need to buy a washing machine and a barbecue grill? So he have to find the barbecue grill and the washing machine. So the barbecue grill cost $178 and washing machine cost the price of washing machine is $603. You have to calculate the total money he need. 8 and 3 is 11, 7 and 1, 8 and that is $781. That means if you want to buy the washing machine and the barbecue grill, he must have $781. Got it? The correct option is $781. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, the next one is Cody bought 2 pounds of raspberry pancake mix. How much did he spend? So the raspberry mix is mm, 2.53. Raspberry pancake mix is $2.53. So that makes 2 pounds. So you have to do 2 times 2 times 2.53. So which is the correct option? 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4 and 1. 5. So that is 5.06. Option number 2 is the correct option. How much money does Albert need to buy a piece of plastic pipe, a spool of good wire, and a piece of rope? So, how much money you have to calculate? And if you want to buy plastic pipe, that is 0.76, spool of gold wire, that is $0.43, and a piece of rope, that is 0.52. Just add 6 and 3, 9 and 2, 11, 1 carry 7 and 4, 11, 12 and 5, 17. So that is 1.71. Option number 2 is the correct option. That is 1.71. How much more does a computer printer cost than a cell phone? You need to calculate the total amount, know how much computer printer cost than a cell phone. So computer printer is 71.58. So that is 45.08. The correct option is 26.50. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. That is weighted averages word problems. Let's just start with the next lesson. A worker at a paper company is making paper pulp that contains cotton fiber. She already has 15 liters of 9% cotton pulp left over the previous batch. To that, she will add some pre-mixed pulp that contains 19% cotton. How much of the pre-mixed pulp should she mix with the leftover pulp to obtain a batch of the contains 17% fiber? Okay, so you have to calculate the amount of cotton fiber, right? 99% pulp means you have 0.09% concentration. The amount of pulp is 15. So 19% pulp is, write an equation and solve. You have 0.09 times 15 plus 0.19 times x, that equals 0.17 times 15 plus x. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Let's see how do we solve them. Noah is preparing for a chemistry experiment. He is 130 milliliters of 38% sulfuric acid. He has 100 he has 130 millimeters of a 38% sulfuric acid solution. To make 32% sulfuric acid solution, how many milliliters of 26% sulfuric acid solution will he need to add? Okay, so you have to see to make 32% of the sulfuric acid, how many milliliters of 26% sulfuric acid solution will be need to that. Okay, so let's just start. Okay, so let's just okay, so no is preparing for a chemistry experiment. Okay, you are given the price of 38% sulfuric acid, right? 38% sulfuric acid is the amount of sulfuric acid is 130 millimeters. You have to calculate, you can make a table that is 0.38% and 0.3130 millimeters of silicon, right? Sorry, sulfuric acid. Now you have to see 0.26% how many sulfuric acid you have to buy, right? And the next lesson is you have 0.32% sulfuric acid you have to calculate. So let's just write down the equation. That is How many milliliters of 26% sulfuric acid solution will he need to add? You need to write down the equation. So let's just see how do we. So that is 130 plus x, and you have the equation that is 130 times 0.38, and that is 0.26 times x, and this one is 0.32 times 130 plus x. So the equation is, I'm going to write on the board. Okay, you can write down the equation that is 130 times 0.38 plus 0.26x, and that equals 0.32 times 130 plus x. Now just do calculations and calculate the value of x. So let me just do 130 times 0.38 is 49.4 plus 0.26x. Now 0.32 times 130 is 41.6 and plus 0.32x, right? So move them other side, that is 49.4 minus 41.6 and 0.32x minus 0.26x. So 49.4 minus 41.6 is 7.8, and 0.32 minus 0.26 is 0.06x. So divide both sides by 0.06. 7.8 divided by 0.06 is 130. So x is approximately 130. So that means the correct option is 130. Option number 2 is the correct option. Got it? A special blend of tea costs $8.10 per kilogram to make. It is made by combining herbs that cost $7.60 per kilogram with black tea that contains $10.10 per kilogram that costs $10.10 per kilogram. To make a batch of the blended tea, how many kilograms of black tea should be added to 58 kilograms of herbs? So let's just make the table, right? So the price per kilogram is $8.10, and how many kilograms? It is made by that is 7.6 $T per kilogram with black tea that costs $10.10. So that means the price of per kilogram is $7.60 that costs 10.10 kilograms black tea, right? You have $8.10. You have to calculate the X. So then you have 58 kilograms. That means that is 10.10 plus X. That is 7.60 times 10.10. That is 8.10 times X, and 58 times 10.10 plus X. Now let's just do the calculations on the whiteboard. Okay, so the equation is 7.60 times 10.10 plus 8.10 times x, and that equals 58 times 10.10 plus x. So just do the calculations, right? So 7.60 times 10.10 equals 76.76, 8.10x. So 58 times 10.10 is 585.8, and plus 58x. So move them other side. So that would be 76.76 minus 585.8 and 58x minus 8.10x. So that is 76.76 minus 58, 585.8. So the correct option is the correct option is 14.5. Option number 2 is the correct option. The correct option is 14.5. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is rate of travel word problems. A whale watching tour boat has finished viewing a whale and is returning to store, moving 78 kilometers per hour. The whale coincidentally started swimming away from the boat at the same time, moving in the exact opposite direction at a rate of 32 kilometers per hour. How long will it be before the whale and the boat are 7 kilometers apart? So the distance between the boat and the whale is 7 kilometers, right? The whale's rate is 32 kilograms per hour and the boat's rate is 78 kilometer per hour. So together they are increasing the gap between them at a rate of 32 plus 2 plus 78 is 110 kilometers, and that is D equals RT. D is 7 and R is 110. So that means T equals 0.636, right? You have to calculate the time in minutes, that is hours, divide multiplied by the 60. So that means the correct option is 4 minutes. When two bodies are moving towards each other or away from each other, R is the sum of the rates. Let's just start with the test questions. Two elevators open their doors at the same time. Keith boards the first one, which is going up at 120 meters per minute. The person next to him, Alexa, boards the second one, which is going down at 210 meters per minute. In how long will Keith and Alexa be 120 meters apart? Okay, so mm, the distance covered to be covered is 120 meters per minute, right? So Keith's rate is 120 meters per minute. No, the distance you have to cover is in how long will Keith and Alexa be 120 meters apart? This is the distance you need to be covered, right? So Alexa is going 120 meters per minute and Keith is going 120 meters per minute and Alexa is going 210 minutes meters per minute. So the total distance is 120 plus 210 is 330 meters, right? That is the total distance. So just write down the equation that is D equals RT. D is 120, R is 330 and times T, right? So solve it for the T, divide 330 other side, that is 0.3636, right? That is 0.3636 minutes. Convert it, multiply it with the 60 seconds so that we can have answer in minutes, right? So that is 0.3636 times 60. Mm. Okay, so we have T equals 0.3636, right? So you have to multiply it by the 60. 0.3636 times 60. That is 22, almost 22 seconds, right? Approximately 22 seconds it is. So the correct option is option number 2. That is 22 seconds. A large ice floe is floating at the speed of 2 miles per minute. A polar bear leaves the floe and swims in the opposite direction of 3 miles per hour. How long will it be before the polar bear is 7 miles away from the flow? So that means the distance you have to calculate is 7 miles, right? The boat is moving 2 miles per hour and the polar bear is 3 miles per hour. So that means the total distance is 3 miles per hour, right? Let's just write down the equation. So that is D equals RT. D is 7, R is 5. So T equals 7 over 5, that is 1 whole 2 over 5. You have to write the time in hours and minutes. So multiply it by the 60, that is 7 divided by 5 is 1.4 and 1.4 times 60 is 1 point, why 1.4? 1.24, how? Just 1 minute. That is T equals, oh, that is 1 hour plus 2 by 5, right? So 1 hour and 2 by 5 times 4 minutes. So that is 1.24. The correct option is 1.24, right? Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, the next one is Shane and Camel camped out at a state park and then hiked back to their cars, which were parked on opposite ends of the park. Shane headed due north 2 miles and Camel hiked due south 4 miles. In how long were the two friends 2 miles apart? So that is D equals RT. D is 2 miles and R is 2 miles plus 4 miles, 6 over T. So T equals 2 over 6, that is 1 by 3, right? So multiply it by the 61 by 3 times 60 is 20. The correct option is the correct option is 20 minutes. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 9 math. The chapter we were working on is problem solving, and the lessons we have covered today are word problems with money, weighted averages word problems, and travel rate of travel word problems. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework until next session. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can simply click on the live chat button. Tutors are available there to help you, or either you can write down the questions in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions have any. So you can please write down the questions for which I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. Any questions? No questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye, everyone.